Something I know you gonna like. Set the vibe for tonight with RGB smart lights. Lumiastream. Time to vibe and get in the mood. Alone or just with your crew. However you wanna do. All my streamers, YouTube, Facebook or Twitch. Control streaming lights in real time. You can't resist. So many styles and colors. Really, you won't believe it. In person, you gotta see it. I promise that you will need it. Lumiastream, that's what I like. Let it flow. Time to take control of all the lights. Laid back and cool tight. Gotta get the mood right. Yeah, this is what you need. Time to get Lumiastream. Lumiastream, that's what I like. Let it flow. Time to take control of all the lights. Laid back and cool tight. Gotta get the mood right. Yeah, this is what you need. Time to get Lumiastream. Something I know you gonna like. Set the vibe for tonight with RGB smart lights. Lumiastream. Time to vibe and get in the mood. Alone or just with your crew. However you wanna do. All my streamers, YouTube, Facebook or Twitch. Control streaming lights in real time. You can't resist. So many styles and colors. Really, you won't believe it. In person, you gotta see it. I promise that you will need it. Lumiastream, that's what I like. Let it flow. Time to take control of all the lights. Laid back and cool tight. Gotta get the mood right. Yeah, this is what you need. Time to get Lumiastream. Lumiastream, that's what I like. Let it flow. Time to take control of all the lights. Laid back and cool tight. Gotta get the mood right. Yeah, this is what you need. Time to get Lumiastream.
Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? Welcome in Cove. Welcome Blitz. Welcome UI Thinker. I think this should be. There we go. I have also some background music. So what I'm gonna try to do today is continue the first core stream that we had last week, and we're gonna go through different connections and also a bit more advanced stuff, and adding into our from scratch Lumiastream profile that we just created last week. So in order to start, I'm gonna go, and you know that everything should be focused on lighting, right? So we need lights, and you can see I have a key light from this side, but nothing is covering me from the other side. So I have another light over there, but we didn't add the connection yet. So we're gonna go and add that connection right now. And for me, it's a Wiz light from Philips, and I should be able to find it over here. And right now I do not know which one is it. I'm hoping that it's not my son's bedroom. We're gonna check it out in a second. So let's go into the themes and add for Wiz. We're gonna go with cool white, and we're gonna place it about 30%. Let's test it out, and there we go. We have light from this side. You can turn any camera into a good camera if you have good lighting. So you should definitely focus on focusing on yours person, the camera, and also you need a lot of good lighting to not look like fuzzy or blurred. So now we have also Philips Wiz. Well, if you can do it right now. I do not have a YouTube connection on because I do not have access to Lumiastream YouTube account. I can close Lumiastream for now if you want to do it, so I can see also YouTube chat in, because right now I don't have it. I have just Twitch and Kick. I just noticed after going live, of course. Okay, that's closed. We have our meld over here because we're gonna add stuff inside as well. Just let me know when that's ready so I can actually move it aside. Shouldn't take too long to add a YouTube connection. I just don't want to miss YouTube chat. We don't have any messages right now, but in case we do. Right now it's disconnected, so I'm not going to be able to see your chat until I'm opening Lumia again. So if you placed any messages while I'm having Lumia off, please write it again when I open Lumia again. I see you trigger my lights over there. I think that's a Lumia refresh. Welcome in, Hook. We're gonna go and cover some topics. We want to go through the user levels and user permissions on how you can actually manage those. Also regarding the queue system and how to optimize it for your needs. Also how you can test your alerts and emulate them. Also, we're going to talk about some plugins that are inside our plugin marketplace, and voice commands and other cool thing that we're going to add today. And we're going to include also AI, TTS, and voice commands. Oh, I'm not seeing when you're actually... Okay, so I'm gonna open Lumia again. In case he was telling me that in the chat to open Lumia, I was not able to. There we go, we are back on. And we have also... we have YouTube. I don't see any YouTube connection. Let me try to log out and log in. No, unfortunately you didn't save it. I don't know if you are a mod, can you actually mod it and add connections? I don't think you can modify any connections that we have running the mods. Anyway, I'm gonna have YouTube chat open on the side for now. Even if I wanted to, yeah, you cannot do connections on mod. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, I'm closing Lumia again. It is closed. So let me know in Teams. Let me check if I have it fully closed. I do. And let me open actually the chat on the browser. So I can actually see you guys. Can you help with overlay? Can you help with overlay if you remember? If we do have time, we're gonna go through there as well. Let me open Lumia again. And YouTube connection is there. And it's connected and we are live. I can close the secondary chat that I do have on my screen. That's perfect. All right. Good. Now we're back. Apparently, do you guys hear the Discord sounds? Because I'm receiving a lot of messages. If you do, let me know because I can mute it for the stream. Okay, so after we've fixed our lightning, well, apparently you got first as well. After we fixed our lightning, we're gonna go and talk about the user levels. The user levels are found below the commands, and if you have a Twitch connection, this is by default what the user levels are. And we do recommend you to use Twitch, even if you have multiple connections and different levels for each of them, because Twitch basically has them all for the normal ones, the streamer, mod, VIPs, tier 1 to free, follower, and everyone that it's not following or subscribed if you're on YouTube. If you go on YouTube, we're gonna have streamer, mod, member, subscriber, and anyone. The member and the subscriber from Twitch will gonna be exactly the same. So if you have, for example, permissions, you want to give permissions for members only on your YouTube, you can place it inside tier 1 sub. It's gonna be triggered exactly the same. Then for Kick, you have streamer, mod, VIP, subscriber, follower, and anyone. So, for example, if I leave it on Twitch, you do not have to leave it just the basic ones. You can add custom ones to suit your needs. And I'm gonna show you what I mean by that. How are you doing, Sab? Since you just came late right now, you're gonna be my guinea pig, and we're gonna do some testing. So, for example, I'm gonna create a user level. And I'm gonna create the user level, which you see over here, we're gonna show custom group. If I go and click edit, I'm gonna make this one bigger. And I can call this one SAB 016. And I can add users to this user group. So right now, I'm going to search for SAB 016 and add it. So now that user will going to be into this, this user level type. And what that means, it means that I can actually give SAB permissions that nobody else can actually have, except of course the streamer. So if I add a command over here, and let's say we want to change all of our colors to a nice magenta color, and I'm gonna click done, and go to the name and description. I'm gonna call it magenta. I'm gonna click complete and save. You're gonna notice that on the right side here, we're gonna say under the levels, we're gonna say how many levels are able to trigger that command. So if you go on the third tab at the bottom, which is duration and user levels, you're gonna see them over here. And if I do not want other users to be triggering it, then SAB, I can click to be just the SAB. Let's remove the access to the mods for this command. And we're gonna be just me and SAB, and we're gonna be able to trigger it. So if somebody of you in the chat right now types !magenta, you're gonna see that nothing will gonna happen. And only when SABs types in magenta, that's gonna work. So you see that worked. And now we need to go back to the default. And CoView, even if you're a mod, you're not gonna be able to actually trigger it, because I just gave permissions for the streamer and that user level that we just created. So I also had some messages in Discord that people were asking how they can do like a super mods or something like that access level. This is how you're doing it. You're gonna go into your user levels, create a custom user level, and then rename it however you want, and then add the users over there. You can either make it manually like I did over here, or you can actually create a command that can add a certain user automatically. So in order to go and make it automatically, we can go and add a command, and inside actions, if you leave Lumia and search for add username to user level, I can place user level to be SAB, and the username, it's the username that I want to actually type in the chat, right? So I'm gonna just tell here the message. So I'm adding the action. I'm gonna click done, and I'm gonna leave this one for nobody else than me and the mods. Doesn't need to have duration. I'm gonna be complete and save. Let's give it a name, and I'm gonna call this one SAB. I'm gonna click complete and save. And if I go on my dashboard over here and search for, let's take row, for example. I'm gonna call in, oh, wait a second. I need to type in with my mod. Lumia, it's actually considered as a bot, and he's not able to trigger commands, so I'm gonna have to open, since I have mod access as well, we're gonna go and say SAB, and then row the bow. And if I do that, I trigger the command. If I go under the user levels, and inside here on the SAB, if I go and edit, you're gonna see that row the bow, it's also added to the user level. And now row the bow can type !magenta and actually trigger the light change. So you can try it out, bro, if you're still with us. Bro just got sabbed. So let's see what happened there. It was not triggered. Maybe it's because it's lowercase. I should have added the lowercase for the user levels. Let's see if that will even work. So can you try it again? There we go. Now the color changed on the lights. And apparently the usernames in Twitch are lowercase, and they do matter how you're typing it. Okay, we understand, Ro. We understand. It's working regardless of the case sensitive that you are typing the command. Yeah, usernames are case sensitive. So you can do a lot of different type of user levels and give access to different kind of people to different kind of commands, or not just commands. You can also do instead of just commands, you can also make the alerts only available for that particular user level. So for example, if we're going to bit alert and I add a variation, and I don't know, sab variation, and here I can go and say, well, let's make it by chance, and let's give it 100% chance. And inside we can go on conditions, and for the condition I can go user levels, user levels. I think I forgot how to add the user level inside here. Each username, no. How we get again the user levels? I think it was from something that user level. Don't think we removed it. So we do have access to in commands, right, for the user levels. But inside conditions, we do have user levels only on commands, and we don't have on alerts. Okay, because over here you can place user levels and contain sab, and then it should, if this one is true, then it will gonna run. If it's not, it will not gonna run. But apparently inside alerts, we do not have user levels. I love how much you can do with Lumia. Thank you, Aussie Farms. Can I give a request for future updates? I believe you are already working on, completely off topic. Sure. You can just place it in the chat and let me know. But before you do that, let's see if we can actually add the thermal printer to Lumiastream. So I have the thermal printer. I have the IP address over here that it's changed apparently every single time I'm turning it on. So you have two ways to add thermal printers. One, it's direct USB. The other one will gonna be with Wi-Fi. My printer has both, either Wi-Fi and also USB connection. Can views, thank you so much for the kicks, buddy. I didn't show over here inside the chat box when I was, but I saw it when I went to Lumia link chat. So in order to add a thermal printer, you would have to go inside, of course, your commands directly, because there is no connection for thermal printer. So let's add the question command. So let's go and add the !Q command that we had before, and here we're gonna go and say just Q. And for the command actions, we're gonna go on Lumia, I'm gonna say print, send to printer. And this is by network. This is meaning that it's going on Wi-Fi or USB direct. I currently do not have it connected via USB. So I'm gonna go with the network IP hostname. And the IP of this one will gonna be 192.168.9.193. In order to test it out, we're just gonna go and say, let's check some text. Testing the printer and click on button test. If you heard that, I clicked it multiple times because it's such a thin paper. And we're gonna see it over here that it worked. So now I want it to actually print the message that it comes from this command. So I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna make a shift enter to make a new line. Then I'm gonna say username, and then the username variable, question, and then we're gonna place the message variable. And then I'm gonna leave a few lines because I need a bit more of paper to actually rip it off easily from my printer. So I'm gonna click add action, and I have it over here. And I'm gonna click done and complete and save. So now, if you do have questions, you can type !Q followed by your message, and then it's gonna be printed out on my printer, and then I can not, lose it with the chat that we have. Someone should click the newest to oldest button on all the YouTube playlists, so the 4-year-old tutorial won't appear at the top. We can do that for sure. Thank you for the feedback. Oh my god, that was a long question. Okay, so now I have it over here, printed out. So Sab says, I see in the beta we have gained a tournament tab where we can add participants and standings. I was hoping soon we would get the opportunity to get a fully customizable point system for placement and kills that are separate, as well as art each time that's held. So 3-4 games can be placed in, and final pages show final leaderboard updating each game. That way we can make overlays with Lumia that roll with that tab to make everything very professional. I have a whole formula in. Yeah, no problem. It's over here on the paper, so I can actually keep it. Regarding the tournaments are having their own overlay and are showing the standings automatically. We do have an overlay if we go inside here, and I think we already have a tournament overlay. We don't. So if I go here and say tournament, you see that under the interactions we have tournaments, and over here we can select the theme. And based on the game that we are playing, we can have a different team. So for example, if we play Fortnite, we can add here. We're gonna see that no active tournament is created. So going into Lumiastream, going to tournaments, we can create a tournament, right? So there's tournament. We're gonna be Fortnite. Type leaderboard, allow signups, schedule tournament start, auto end. You can automatically make this one happening. You can click create, and you're gonna see if you go back into overlay, nothing was changed because the tournament is not started. Then we can start the tournament, but we will not gonna have any participants, right? So test tournament. Test is live in Lumiastream. Standings or matches will appear here once results are added. So if we add participants, let's call this one player 1. Let's call this one player 2. Apparently it's good that it's an incremental over there. So we have currently 4 players. And as you can see, we already have the first 3 guys that are playing on the tournament. And you can place to show more of the places or less by going with the sidebar over here. You can make it just to show the first 2, the first 3, the, I don't know, first 10 if you want to. And then the problem that we have right now is the way to add points automatically inside the leaderboard while you're playing. So in order to do that, you either have to look inside the logs of the game and on certain actions to add points to that particular player, or to have a different integration like with Overwolf and on a event over there to add points. So for example, right now this is a manual intervention where you can go on update standings, and right now all of them have 0 points, 0 wins, 0 loses, 0 ties, 0 matches played, right? So if I want to make player 4 to come first, I just need to add him some points. So the placements are based on the current points. While you're adding inside Lumia, automatically we're gonna show on the leaderboard. You can of course add, like this one has 2 wins, 1 loss, and you have this one that has 4 wins, 0 I said, 0 losses. And you're gonna see that even if the player 2 has more wins, it doesn't really matter. It matters the points, so the point system. Rank, it's based on the most points. You can place it for the most wins, and then player 2 will gonna be the first because he had more wins. It doesn't show over here that it has wins because I didn't have the checkbox selected over here on the right side on the configuration tab. If you click show wins, then I'm gonna place here for W, 2W, 0W. Or you can make least losses, which is gonna be again player 2 because he had 0 losses, but as you can see, player 4 had 1 loss, so that means he's gonna be the bottom player. The other ones had 0, so that's gonna be the deciding factor. But the most accurate one, it's 5 points, because it also shows the points over here and it looks nice. Bromero, how are you doing? I'm providing support during this stream. I'm trying to actually cover some topics during the stream, but I'm also giving support at the same time. How are you doing, Thor? Good, so this answered your question, Sab? Like I said, the only problem that we have currently is to make it completely, fully automatic. And I think a plugin can solve that issue if we can find a way to connect 2 games with their own API, or some way for like a software that already has an API integration and has like triggers for when somebody died, when somebody won, when something happened, to actually trigger something, and with that metadata to actually send it to Lumia and then do the logic inside here. Yeah, we went on the tournament teams and I showed them different games that we currently have added over here. Of course, we are open for adding even more. That's why you can go into our Discord server, into ideas and requests, and request it over there. So if I change it right now to be like a League of Legends, this is gonna show totally different, right? Gonna be the same tournament, but just gonna look different. Hoping I can get the watch streak overlay with the Twitch badge avatar working. It will gonna be it's already fixed on my side because I already tested it, but it's I'm currently running on alpha version. As soon as the beta will gonna be released, it'll gonna be included over there, and the watch streak will gonna work. Still gonna figure points, just getting right plug into manual format, so calculate points to 20 people aren't bad. When it gets to 50 plus lobbies, leaderboards can get difficult, so this will help for sure once more gets tweaked for plugins added. Yeah, it's not currently, like I said, you can do your own tournament, but you have to do the placements and the points adding for each individual one. Even if they are like 50 SAB, only a few of them will gonna win points if the win it's actually the target to get. So maybe you're gonna get points for the top 5, and all the rest will not gonna get any points. So you're just gonna have to add 5 persons, modify 5 persons to add them their points to create their leaderboard. Remember, I made a custom overlay. Yeah, I remember. I had one done or the same, kind of the same, but for the same alert. Okay, so let's save this one, and let's move over with our task over here. This will gonna be very interesting for a lot of people because it's regarding the queue system and how the queue currently works in Lumiastream. I think you all seen in the streaming tools over here a category called queue, and this is where all of your commands, all of your alerts will gonna go through, except the ones that have skip queue. In the queue settings, this is very important. By default, we have these settings. We have delete current activity if it's overwritten by another activity. Make all items that enter the queue equal and added to the back of the list. This will ignore the order completely. This is unchecked, because if you do that, then if you have like 10 commands running at the same time and they're on queue and somebody followed you, you have to wait for all of your 10 commands to finish, and then the alert will gonna be playing. If you do not want to do that, then uncheck this one and verify what's the order flow. In case you have this order, and for example, we have chatbot commands, and we have 10 already going on the queue, and then an alert comes, what that's gonna happen, will gonna be added next in line. So after the current one that it's playing, will gonna be that one will gonna be played automatically. If you have skip queue and you do not have delete current activity over here, what will gonna happen is that your previous command, because it didn't finish properly, you're gonna try to replay it. So we had a lot of users having this issue, that they unchecked the delete current activity, and they were saying that their redemptions are doubling, or their something it's doubling. It's because they were running commands that were having skip queue. They were not overwritten. They stopped the command mid running, and then the command was trying to actually play again. So that's why it was kind of playing twice. It never reached the end. Akari, welcome. I was playing with it a little bit. This is a good to win only tourney or cash cup points for all players. Get a little harder, but still great progress. Love it. Okay. So inside here, if you do not like the queue order, you can always click and drag and place them. For example, if you want chatbot commands to be on top of the API calls, or Twitch extension, or Twitch redemptions, or kick points, you can actually click and drag wherever you want it to actually be happening. So, like I said, if we had right now 10 chatbot commands running and an alert was happening, the alert was waiting. We're gonna wait for the first command to finish, and then we're gonna run after that, leaving the other ones inside the queue. And then, of course, we're gonna after the alert is finished, we're gonna go back to the chatbot commands and we're gonna be running those. So the queue, it's not that complicated, but there were a lot of users trying to modify these things, and they created a lot of issues, and they contact support for us to help. So I think I cleared that. You can also, for example, not queue multiple commands for the chatbot or chat commands. But what we're gonna do, if you have this one created, it'll gonna stop midpoint where the other command is running. You're not gonna join the queue, but we're gonna play instantly on top of the other one. So that's what will gonna happen. So make sure that you have everything to be queued, to be placed in a queue, and then manage the order flow on the priority. I think we had a good priority list by default. But if you do want to change it, feel free to change it. Okay, then how to test your alerts. There are multiple ways to do so. The only way that we could do it in the past was to actually open an overlay, and inside the overlay, you have a button, emulate. And here you can emulate every alert that you want by either just searching. This will gonna be all the list of all the connections that you currently have, including the plugins. So they're gonna be showing over here if you want to trigger, I don't know, follower alert that we currently do not have. I think we do have, right? So if I click follower over here, nothing will gonna happen except the overlays. The lights didn't change because this was just an overlay emulation. If you want to trigger also the alert inside Lumiastream, like for example on our Twitch follower, this one we're gonna have to trigger a light reaction. So you saw that this one didn't trigger it. If you click on the top right over here where it says overlays only, we're gonna turn into live. Now when you emulate it, we're gonna emulate also the Lumia alert. So you'll see my lights will gonna
Lumiastream is now following.
And of course, everything that we included inside there. Also the chat messages shown over here. How are you doing, Rambo? So that's one way to trigger your alerts. The other way is to go on the alert itself and click test. We're going to do exactly the same.
Lumiastream is now following.
And you can do it a third way as well. So if you go into your shortcuts on the top right, you're going to have alerts and you can search for your alert. All the alerts will going to be shown over here. And let's search for follower. And click on Twitch follower and click test.
Lumiastream is now following.
That's the third way that you can test alerts inside Lumia. Of course, you can test a lot more than that, not just alerts. You can actually place also.
Art is now following.
Dartak, thank you for the follow. You can place up like whatever username you want here and whatever user level, and basically test as that person was actually typing inside your chat to see what Lumia will gonna do. So, or you can just enter a command over here and we're gonna be like that user was triggering this command. And of course, you can always change your scenes for from here in the shortcuts. Or call your commands. All right. Let's see if I missed any chat. Looks like I didn't. Thank you for the follow. We appreciate those. And since we went from the basics, now we can go into a bit more advanced. And since Lumia 9.0, I don't know why my Govi forgot to start over here. I want my changing colors on the right. I cannot stream without those, so I have to go back to the default. We're gonna talk about some plugins, and one of my best and most featured plugin that I strongly recommend everybody that has a Stream Deck to get is the Stream Deck Actions. It's already downloaded 421 times, and I'm wondering why. We already have it installed, but for this reason, we will gonna go and remove it. So let's remove the plugin. And let's go and add it again. Stream Deck Actions, we're gonna go and install it. And after it's downloading the files, you will not gonna be doing anything over here. By default, it's if Lumiastream it's on the same computer where you have your Stream Deck, you're gonna leave this one untouched. If your Lumiastream it's on a different computer than your Stream Deck, then you're gonna have to place the IP address for that particular computer and make sure that this port 9090 it's actually forward from that computer to your local network. Then you're gonna have to open your Stream Deck app, and as the setup instruction over here, you're gonna have to go to General and enable MCP Actions. So let's go over here, and this is where it is. Under the General, it's enable MCP Actions, and what that does, it actually kind of like creates another Stream Deck page inside here. And inside here, you can actually, right now I do have two things added. Let's actually remove those. Let's actually activate so we know that it's connecting. We're gonna refresh all my lights. And now we have 36, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. Yeah, 36 buttons that you can customize and program with your Stream Deck and allow Lumia to actually press these buttons. So let's do something. Let's actually make this one to do what? Let's actually go and install. Oh, we have a Nanoleaf plugin. Let's see if the Nanoleaf it's actually connected. Apparently, but it's not, because this is not the IP address for this one. Hey, how are you doing, Frag? Thank you for the kick. So definitely the connection with Nanoleaf over here, it's not really correct. So let's go and actually check it out. Let me go on my Galleon. Let's see if this one we're gonna turn it on and off. And as you can see, this is not working. It shows that it's trying to trigger it, but it's definitely not. So we're gonna click on the settings, and inside here, it should be the IP address of your Nanoleaf. And definitely it's not that. I can just delete it. Okay, Stream Deck needs to pair. Discover Nanoleaf. It should be easy to discover. Or not really. Nanoleaf, it's from my point of view, the worst to actually try to connect to anything except to himself. So we're gonna skip Natalie. Okay, we're not gonna go with Natalie because that is not currently working fine. We're gonna take a lot of time to do it. So what to do? Let's open a program. Let's say that you want to open a program via Lumiastream. We already have that inside. I don't know why we would do it, but let's say that that's a use case. So, well, actually, no. Let's open a website. So on the website, I want to go on my Google Chrome, and I want to go at https://google.com. Google. So I have these MCP actions already created. What now? Now inside Lumia, you can actually create a chat command, or you can place it on an alert. So let's say add a command, and let's call it Google. Under the actions, if we go for the Stream Deck actions over here, this is the new action source that was added once you added the plugin. Click to trigger the Stream Deck button, and now I have only one button over here, which is Google. And if I add an action, and I click done, complete and save, and somebody types in the chat !Google, basically Google gonna open. And I can make it actually to be a nice use case where you can actually do a search inside Google. So somebody type !Google just to see if that the browser shows up. Well, apparently it was on a different screen, but it did show up over here. So as you can see, if you type something, you're gonna have your search on the top over here. So what that means, I can actually copy this and modify it. Oh, not here. Let's go into the Stream Deck and modify it. Need a slash as well. And instead of opening Google, I can say /question. And the URL, you cannot place it over here because it doesn't know the message. That would be a cool idea, to actually open Google Chrome and do an automatic search based on the thing that we have here. Yeah. We apparently cannot do that. Unfortunately. But we can open a search. Let me think. Can't we do something where we can actually send a variable to it? I think it's just gonna be pressing the button, not actually sending also variables to the Stream Deck. Unfortunately. Because over here you can definitely open a file path, for example. Again, this file path can open a website. This can open a website. So I can do this inside Lumiastream easier than I can do it in Stream Deck, because over here I can place search Q followed by your guy's message. And add action. And if I remove that and click done, complete and save. And now if somebody types !Google followed by a message, then automatically we're gonna try to search for that particular thing. So that's the beauty of having variables, and you can create ideas of how you want to implement it. So somebody in the chat, please type exclamation mark Google, and then followed by a Google search. What do you want to search on Google? Hi doing Xbox, welcome in. Darky, welcome in. Anybody? Nobody? Nobody wants to type to search something on the Google. Google Iron Maiden. Did it work? It didn't work. Oh, it placed message. It tried to search for message. It did work, but not as intended. So I guess this variable doesn't work over here. Yeah, I see that it's placing the message, but not actually what I wanted to place. I wanted this to be a variable, not an actual double curly. Okay, I found a defect. That's when you are doing when you're testing. When does Halo drop in 2026? Yeah, I wish it would actually place that message over here, so we all would know, but apparently it didn't actually work like that. The message variable didn't actually been placed. Okay, so we cannot send it over here as a variable. You can. The cool thing about this this plugin is that if Lumiastream doesn't have an integration with something, but Stream Deck has an integration with something, you can actually go and download the plugin from here and actually trigger it via Lumiastream, being everything in just one place. So that's the cool, very cool feature about it. So, for example, if I wanted to go and turn on and off my key light, Elgato, where's my key light? Control center, on and off. So if I was placing this one over here and then going into my Lumia, and I wanted the Stream Deck actions, buttons, and I select on and off. If I test the action, you're going to see that my key light from here is going to turn off and they're going to turn on. Basically, it has the integration inside the Stream Deck with Elgato key lights, and it's actually controlling it via Lumiastream by just basically pressing that button. Google, when you will take over the world? He doesn't know the answer. All right, next into my agenda, it's the Steam plugin. So this is gonna be cool because it can do more things. So if I go and search for the most popular, you're gonna see that Steam, it's one of the most popular plugins that we have uploaded inside Lumiastream. So if we install it, then you'll need the API key and the stream ID or vanity name. In order to get the API key, you're gonna click on this page. I'm gonna just move it aside because we're gonna show my API key. I'm just gonna copy it and I'm gonna paste it over here. And for vanity name is when you go inside your profile. You see you have a code over there. You can copy everything and paste it over here. So you can either place the HTTPS Steam community ID, your username, or profiles, whatever. So I'm placing that profiles from here. I don't think it's needing the /. And this is where you place your pool interval. and I'm gonna click activate. And let's refresh it. I got Steam plugin working. I no longer have to worry about changing categories on stream. It is great. It's great. So now, after you added your Steam plugin, you're gonna find it inside your alerts over here. You can you have all these alerts where achievement progressed, achievement unlocked, game was changed, game was over, or online status changed. So let's actually go with online status change because it's the easiest one to check. And right now we have Steam already connected, but my Steam, it's closed. If I open my Steam, and I'm not invisible because I'm usually staying on invisible. If I click online, you see that already the lights changed because it found out that the online status was changed. And in order to actually check that out, we're gonna click enable over here. And this is persona username. It's now online status. And let's click done. Complete and save. We're gonna also place a message. So I'm gonna go again. I'm gonna make myself offline, basically invisible. And since it's polling rate, it's about 30 seconds. We're gonna have to wait a bit. Now I can answer to your questions if you do have some so far. Okay, I hope that triggered it. Hello, can I ask a support question? For sure. You can type exclamation mark Q followed by your question. Oh, there you go. So now it pulled it, so I'm offline, right? And now I'm going over here and place it online. And once the next pull, it's about 30 seconds, we're gonna say that I am currently online. And this happens with these alerts. You can place to change your category when your game is changed. You can, I don't know, make an animation on your screen when you unlock an achievement in the game, like you know, that small Xbox achievement thing that you are getting usually on Xbox. So you can definitely place those over there, including the name of the achievement. It's also inside the variables. So for example, if I'm going on achievement unlocked and I want to add the chatbot over here, it's gonna say the current game, achievement name, achievement description. It has also the description of the achievement. And yeah, that's basically all we have for the local variables for this one. Question, can I make a chat AI prompt come out of the chatbot and TTS? Can I make a chat AI prompt came out of the chatbot and TTS? You need to be a bit more descriptive over there, Xbox. So you want the prompt to be placed from the chat and then the response to be TTS? Question, PlayStation plugin is the same. Yes, PlayStation plugin is the same. It's a bit slower than the pull rate than Steam, but it acts exactly the same, as well as the Epic plugin, as we have also for Epic Store a plugin already created. Yes, I want the response to came out on TTS and chatbot also. Okay, so that complicates a bit the thing, but not that much. So let's add a command for that. And we're gonna go on actions. this is where all the magic will gonna happen. And I want to get the AI prompt into a variable, basically. So I'm gonna say update variable, and then the variable will gonna be AI prompt. And over here inside AI prompt, I'm gonna actually place the message that comes from the chat. So this is basically what you're asking the AI. I want it to be stored inside Lumia before I'm actually placing it. So that's the value that I want, not the variable. So I'm gonna place here as a variable, I'm gonna say last AI question. Okay. I'm gonna add the action. And after that, you want it to be placed inside the chat, right? The response, and also to be on the TTS. So you have TTS over here, where you can actually can take the variable that we just created, which is last AI question. The voice option, we can go on, let's go Brian. Volume it's maximum, so we can add this one. We need a delay because when you ask something to AI, you need to wait a bit until the response gets back. So we're gonna add a delay. And let's say, I think 10 seconds should be enough. I'm gonna place this one in between. So now we have this one being placed, we have a delay, then we're gonna have a text-to-speech, and then you want to also place it inside the chat. So we're gonna go and say a chatbot message. With the message, we're gonna be the variable, which is this one. And then we're gonna be on Twitch, for example, and we're gonna add the action. And this one, we forgot to place the brackets for it. Okay. So I'm gonna click done, and let's go for AI for the command. So we're gonna place AI in the chat, followed by your question, and hopefully we're gonna be stored in a variable and then played as TTS and also back into the chat. So let's complete and save and refresh, and Xbox, try it out. Let's wait 10 seconds.
Sorry, we ran into an error processing your message.
Of course, you ran into an error processing my message because we didn't add any GPT connections. We just started fresh last week, so we didn't add currently the GPT over here. So we can ask AI as much as we want, but will never gonna give us the answer back. But it did place the message back inside the chat and also on the TTS, including the variable that we just created. So if we go inside variables, we have the last AI question, and this is the response. Yeah, so this is the way to go, in my opinion, for your use case. You can do a print screen for this one. You need, of course, a delay. Give it at least 10 seconds, because sometimes it takes longer or shorter. And yeah, this is how you'll do it. Do you have time to help me with the stream streak overlay? Right now, stream streak on 9.0 doesn't really trigger, so you have to wait until 9.0.1 to be actually fixed. So I'll even if I come in and help you, for me it will gonna work. For you, it will not gonna work because I'm currently on the alpha version. So for me, it's already fixed on my side, but it's not fixed on your side. Good. So that's with the AI and how we would do it. So exactly as Steam, we do have, like I said, Epic Games, where you can actually do the same thing to change your category while you're changing games. And also you have PlayStation Network, which basically does kind of the same thing as Steam and Epic. So we are listening to their game changes, their achievements, and you can actually have alerts for those. Now, since we do not have AI GPT already connected inside, we can still use the AI voices. The AI voices over here, all the premium users are having one voice clone that they can create. This will gonna be your own personal voice, either for yourself or by a character. There are some things to take in mind when you are actually creating the voice over here. You would want your audio clip that you're placing here to not be low, because if you're placing your audio clip low, also the output of the voice will gonna be low. He'll gonna try to mimic exactly as your input. So make sure that your audio it's clear, loud, and doesn't have background noise or something like that. And then we're gonna have a very good voice generated over here inside Lumiastream, like mine, for example.
I am here to protect everyone from Autobots, including Lumiastream and its users.
But, for example, if I go on, let's go on the newest, and if I check a different one that was placed.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Super Kiwi, comment ça va vous?
That was actually not low, but there are some that are low.
Hey Server, ich bin's Joker. Ich hoffe...
Some of them are recorded in a different language, but even if they're recording in a different language, you can still use it in any language that you want to use it. So do not worry about that.
Hey there, my dorklings.
Luke voice.
So like this one. This is a bit low for my my standings. It'll be overridden by any kind of other sound that it's playing on the stream.
Luke voice.
And you cannot actually make it louder since it's already at 100%. So if it's something very loud, you can definitely turn it further down. But if it's low from the beginning, you cannot push it more than 100%. Let me go back into your questions over here. Okay. I wanted to add E-light bulb to Lumiastream, but I cannot find it. The bulb is already in my network. Can you help me? Not during the stream, I can't, unfortunately. I do not have E-lights on my side either, so I cannot actually show it on live on stream. So gonna be have to go on Discord with that. I have a question regarding the wheel spin overlay. Can we evenly distribute losing spots across the wheel? Right now, it just adds them spaced by one. The empty spaces that trigger loss. Let's check. So if you go into overlays and spin wheel, that's definitely not the spin wheel. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we have some of them were trying to actually add points or remove points based on the luck of the users. But on the content here, you can say empty spaces count, and if we place 4, it's gonna be placed like that. How do you want it to be placed? So, for example, if you want to place it evenly, you have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. you have to place 9 empty spaces over here. 9 or 8 empty spaces. 2 no luck at the same place, and over here was not separated. 0, 10, 9. Oh, when I remove, it's just removing the last one. 7, 8. Yeah. I see what you're telling. I would say that this is a... Do we have anything to control it? No. So what I would do is... I would open a ticket for it. They should be placed evenly. Over here. If I place 10, that's fine. But it placed here 2 of the same. And if I try to remove that and place 9, then I'll have 2 here and 2 no luck here. Oh, I know what you mean. You want evenly placed even if you have like 3, right? So I have no luck, but you want to have it 1 here, 1 there, 1 anywhere. In that case, until you were waiting for this one, because it's still gonna be a ticket created, you can actually place it over here. Yeah, but we're gonna say that he won something that he lost, because that's not a losing place. So like I have here, I have 1, 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, and then the same with minus, which this would add Lumia points, loyalty points to the user, and this will gonna deduct the points from the user. Yes, they all trigger the win animation. You're right. So that's why I need you to go and open a ticket inside our Discord, and I'm gonna open a ticket on the dev team. They will need to redo this one for sure. Yeah, thank you for letting us know. Good. Let's talk about something that was added in 9.0, and we had to postpone the release for it to be sure that it was not breaking anything. And this is the viewer profiles. By default, the viewer profiles are turned off. If I turn them on, of course, we already have some viewers already over here. You can go into your settings and select what you want it to collect. You can, of course, flush. You can sync with our cloud storage, and you can also collect viewer profiles while streaming, and then you can collect commands, collect alerts, or collect first chatters. You can toggle this on and off. And on the right side, you have achievements. For all these achievements over here, for example, you have, let's say, the bits achievement. So a viewer can get bit spark achievement for 100 bits. Then if he spends 500, not in the current stream, in the when you're streaming, whenever you're streaming, they're gonna be added every single time that user comes in back and spend those bits on you. So he can get like from 100 to 500 to 1,500, and then 7,500 bits, which is the bit supernova. And you would want to actually celebrate that with your viewer. I would set that up you would go into your alerts and inside Lumia. Inside here, you have a new alert called Viewer Achievement. And here you have the base alert. But since we have multiple variations of those alerts, you can always add a variation and you can say achievement name. So for example, we wanted to go for the bits supernova. Over here, I would click that. I'm gonna say supernova. 7,500 bits. I can save it and then I can customize it as much as I want. Maybe I want to place a very nice song with a lot of animations on the screen as well as on my lights. I would do all the things over here, like on every command or on every alert, and place all the actions, BI, TTS. You can do whatever you want over here. You can go as much in depth over there, and it's gonna be triggered when somebody actually reached that that achievement. So it's also, that's one thing that you can use your achievements for the viewer profiles, but you can also check on your viewers. For example, if I want to go on Cove and see what he did lately. He was seen the first time 24 days for 23 hours and 15 minutes and 46 seconds. And the last seen in our chat was 1 hour ago and 20 minutes since we began stream. He called 36 chat commands, 3 chatbot commands, 1 Twitch point redemptions. He's been first 5 times. The top command was a new match. Apparently I had a chat match over there that was triggered. That's why he had 32 of them actually. It was just triggering 4 different commands. And he spent 300 channel points on our stream. Not today. This is total. Then recent commands, I can check when they were doing, like exclamation mark Q or exclamation mark shoutouts. And over here I can see his achievements, and he has commands regular achievement, first in, and early bird because he been first 5 times. He has these achievements on the right side. If you have the same user on multiple platforms, you can actually click merge and place that username on a different one. So for example, he is linked with Kick, YouTube, and Twitch. But if I go on somebody else, like Mr. Hoffy over here, who is just on Kick, I can click merge. And then after I click that, I can go on a different viewer, or maybe he should be the same viewer, but on a different platform. So let's go on King440, and I click that, and it's gonna ask me, you want to merge this into this? And right now we're gonna click no, because we know that it's not the same person, so we're gonna click no. Otherwise, they both were gonna be linked, and the user, regardless of what platform he's watching, he'll gonna be placed over here and counted. A good remark is if the viewer changes his username, he will gonna be having a different viewer profile over here. So you're gonna have to merge it with the old one if you want to. Okay. And regarding the alerts, there's also a cool thing. So I think we already talked about on the last stream, but I'm gonna be reminding you about this one. So for example, if you made your bits alert and you have your base, which is this one.
Look.
And apparently I didn't place enough. Wait for TTS to finish before completing command. The TTS didn't finish before completing command. I'm gonna click done. So if I want this alert to be placed on my kick, since we are multi-streaming on multiple platforms, I can go on kicks, click edit this one, copy from, and I'm gonna search bits. And whilst I'm doing that, I'm gonna click complete and save. Now if I go inside here, we're gonna see that username cheered, amount of bits. We can say cheered, amount of kicks. They said message, right? And for TTS, the same. We can just change the text over here. But we didn't have to do everything all over. It picked exactly the same light reaction that we had on the other one. Plays the same chatbot message, the same TTS with the AI TTS. And if I was having like custom code or different actions or multiple conditions or audio files playing at the same time, those would have been copied into this one as well. Okay, that was what I wanted to show you today. If you do have any questions, let me know. If not, I'm gonna be in Discord for about 1.5 hours. So join our Discord. I'm trying to be as much as I can present over there and answer your questions and help you if I can. If not, the dev team will gonna be able to step in and solve your issue. Guys, thank you so much. Until next time, I am TJ Radu, and be my pleasure to be your host tonight. Can set up my overlay to pop up. Can set up my overlay to pop up. I don't understand that horse part, but let me know in Discord. Bye, everybody.